we're in Belfast, and we're going to be going clockwise around Ireland, ending up back in the Belfast area. We have landed in Belfast, and this is our Vauxhall Astra.
Sunroof.
With a sunroof too, yeah, and a radio we haven't figured out how to use yet. We're in a little cubby hole on the second top floor.
Bread, which is really a soda bread, and Bailey's Irish cream.
And this is not the closet we're in. This is our room at £9 per person. And just Patricia and I. That's nice.
And that is expensive.
You heard it from the source. Is what we see from our window of our spacious room.
And yet we believe it's a very scriptural message. It's the message of salvation.
This wonderful statue says, the fastest growing section of the labor force are married women in part-time employment. This work is only one part of a mother's working day. All women working in the home receive no direct wage.
Women forever, right? Rainy Sunday in Belfast town. And there we have the Europa, the most bombed hotel in Europe.
It's a memorial to Queen Victoria's husband, Prince Albert. Victoria was on the throne of England when we became a city in 1888. It's no wonder it's leaning this way towards the main Lagan. And it's actually 4 feet from the perpendicular. Public hangings were held just where those telephone boxes are, but we haven't had a public hanging for about 150 years. And floggings took place in a different location.
Falls Road area. This is Falls Road. Gas here. Now that's 59.9 pence a litre. That's twice the amount in Canada. But first, we're starting in Belfast and heading to Dromara. From Dromara down to Rostrevor, and then from Rostrevor through Newry into the Republic of Ireland, through Newgrange, and into Dublin. Doesn't look like Belfast. We have left Belfast, we're heading south, and we're just 2 miles out of Dromara. We were invited to visit the fellow who was seated next to me on the plane. Of Dromara, and those are the Mourne Mountains, very beautiful. And over here, sheep.
You never know who we met on the plane on our way home, so now you know, and you see us me and Lil sitting here and took everything on the camera. He didn't think you'd see us as soon.
Okay, Snooky, do you have anything to say? No, you're the quiet one there.
He's speaking.
Well, I want to say it was lovely having Steve and Pat with us for the night, and I'm just heading to work now after a good night's rest. So cheerio, bye everybody.
No.
Here we are in Rostrevor, and that's not Patricia's best side. There's her best side, yes. Okay.
Wonderful place.
And there's our tent.
It's still standing.
Yeah. Our first tenting experience in Ireland.
It's been a whole hour. It's still up.
Whole hour, and it's been raining, sort of drizzling off and on. And here's our tent and caravan site. That's a police car, guys. Across the water is the Republic of Ireland. Southern Ireland. And we're at the Newgrange Burial Mound.
A stone passage runs into the heart of the mound, and an ingenious roof box over the door allows the sun to shine into the passageway just once a year, during the winter solstice.
August the 1st, and we're headed into Dublin on a double-decker bus. We're here in the central part of Dublin. For cholesterol testing.
Side of the library is the Book of Kells, an illuminated manuscript of the Gospels dating from the 8th century. Each day, a single page is turned.
His chapel, he built it in a neo-Gothic style, so he wanted the tower to fit in with the style of the chapel. And the only way he knew how to do this was by adding the turrets. As I mentioned, the people were paying taxes to the castle for their protection. Well, the taxes kept increasing and the people didn't like it, so they started using the moat as a rubbish dump. They were throwing all their household rubbish into the water, dead cats, dead dogs, anything they could find really, until it became such a health risk that the Viceroy ordered that the moat be filled in.
Oh yes. I won't tell you what I've been here for though.
Good shot, hon. That really brings out the inner you.
This is my familiar.
Child there. Good. Oh, there you go.
And you find yourself in the brewing gallery. Now, all of the exhibits here deal with the brewing process.
This is what we came for.
Was fed individually in his cell. There was no central dining hall because they didn't want the men to meet each other and thus form what they termed evil associations or make a criminal gang inside the jail. Also, they felt by leaving the men on their own in silence, they could dwell upon their evil deeds and hopefully see the error of their ways. This jail finally did close in 1910. And it closed as a criminal prison, but was reopened as a political prison in 1916, just after the 1916 rebellion. Now, it stayed open then during the Irish War of Independence between 1919 and 1922, and remained open then during the Irish Civil War. So this is known as the 1916 corridor because it was here the leaders of that rebellion were brought before they were executed. The very end cell there on my left was the cell of a man called Joseph Plunkett. That was the cell where he spent those short 10 minutes with his wife Grace Gifford before he was brought out and executed. 2 days of each other, she lost both her husband and her brother.
Over 2 hours to get to this Casino Marino. This better be something. 2.5.
Bit out of place though, it's a bit of a joke up here because casinos don't have state bedrooms. Oh. And neither do villas, like it's only the top palaces and things with state bedrooms. So it's just charming, kind of playing with surprise and, you know, just wanting to put in every little kind of detail, you know.
And shock. And shock.
Very good. Say it again.
And shock.
Irish greeting.
Take me a fortune.
Station, waiting for the dark train to take us back to Shankill.
Your attention please, let the boys passengers of 19 and North Service from coming to the wrong. Looking for a top platform number 4 of 19 and
We've been in Ireland for 1 week, and this is part of our camping ground. have a strange structure over here.
Well, that's my bag plate. Pardon? Do you think so? Present you now with a diploma which certifies you as a qualified Irish whiskey taster. Or drunkard, as we now like to think of you. Now, this is a diploma which will be recognised in all the universities throughout your individual countries. Very sought after, let me tell you. But unlike other diplomas, which I'm sure you all possess, you cannot use this for job or academic purposes. Now, you cannot apply for a job with it, okay? I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'll try. Also, we will...
The mere fact that you won't be alone. I've been in London by myself, and you are alone. You are alone. But here, you'll never be alone.
By the way, Pat, sometimes some people want to be alone, like you.
Yes, they do.
I've often felt that way. I've gone into pubs like Dublin or New Zealand, Australia, anywhere. And I said, oh, I just want to, almost I felt like meditating.
Oh, how you doing, sweetheart?
I'm doing fine.
And what was your favorite whiskey?
Patty.
Patty's whiskey. Okay, thank you.
I was the only one at the table that liked that best.
August the 4th, and we're in St. Stephen's Green. 10:32 in the morning. They refer to these as Georgian style houses. Looks good. I think I'm going to eat. Shopping area on a Sunday afternoon in Dublin.
Well, that's just it.
Robert.
Good stuff. Look at St. Stephen's Green.
And I think of you all day and night, till I return once more, till I return once more. They shone like diamonds, you think queen of the land. With her hair strung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. And I was walking in Dublin, not intending to stay very long. I met with a frolicsome damsel as she came a-tripping along. I don't know what she took out of her pocket and put it right into my hand. From the very first day that I met her, I'd looked at that black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds. You'd think she was queen of the land. With her hair slung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. There is a ship, and she's loaded. She's loaded deep, as deep can be, but not as deep as the love I'm in. I know now how I sink or swim. By the gas yard wall, train a train by the old canal. I kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, it's a dirty old town. The clouds are draped and across the moon. Cats are frowning on their feet. There springs a girl from the streets at night. Dirty old town, it's a dirty old town. Whitehall, by the gas yard wall, train a train by the old canal. I kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, it's a dirty old town. Dirty old town, it's a dirty old town. Thanks very much, thank you.
We're heading out of Dublin, down to Enniskerry, and from Enniskerry to Glendalough. Here we are at Knockcree Youth Hostel. Yes, we qualify. There's our car. Women sleep over there. We guys sleep over there. And that's the road we travel down. Can you imagine two cars going down it at the same time?
So
You
is
spread
it
it out.
soft when you cut it? It's soft when
Oh,
you
it's
cut
soft. It's like butter when you cut it, yeah. Full of water.
it? Oh, for water.
Oh, yeah.
So when you step on it, it must...
Oh, it's all squelchy. It's like putty
Oh,
when you cut it. So it takes the weather to dry it. It gets very hard then.
oh, I see. Can I just see what...
Oh, you can't. It's not good for it.
Because moisture gets in, or what?
No, it freezes the moisture inside.
Ah.
And it just
breaks.
the ice will expand and break the turf and it gets all soft. It never hardens. Turf that has frost never stays.
So you say you cut it up to the end of March?
We cut it no start about
Start.
the beginning of April.
Okay.
Now some places down the country they'll start in May or June turf. In lowland bogs this is very high up here. I start to cut about the first week in April. And depending on the weather, some summers are good. And some summers can be terrible. Now last summer was brilliant.
So we heard.
Brilliant.
Yes, my son came up and his wife, Viking. It was beautiful.
But about two summers before. But that method of cutting turf is more or less gone. Nobody's cutting turf like that anymore. It's all mechanised now. Machines cut it down the country. So we just cut here just for the old. It's just this the folksy thing to do, I suppose.
Yeah.
What would you sell a bag of turf for?
I wouldn't sell it at all.
Or you just your own use?
Oh, we don't sell it now, just do you want a bag?
No.
You can take a bag if you want.
No. Just
Oh, you can take a bag.
Oh, no. What would we do with it? No, because, no, thank you. We have no use for it, but that's very kind of you.
Well, there's plenty over there.
The grouse hunter who's not grouse hunting at the moment. Okay.
Now, from the 9th century onwards, Glendalough became very rich, very powerful, really established a reputation for itself. This had good effects and bad effects. Raiders, come from all oddball corners of the earth. And the worst of these, full stop, were the Vikings, who were coming here from Norway and from Denmark. There were Swedish Vikings in operation as well. Their factory tended to plunder in Russia most of the time to bother about this little islet. It was the Norwegians and the Danes were the only ones who cared. They came here then for the gold and the silver and the precious ornamentation. Also the covers, the shrines of the holy books, and also for slaves as well, who they brought up to Iceland. But it's very pernicious, so if you haven't heard, this is just inoculating you against it. But the story goes, monks are working in monasteries, see Vikings pouring over the hill, bearing down into the valley. As one monk saw race towards the tower, climb a 14-foot rope ladder, squeeze into the doorway, and pull the ladder back up after them. The Vikings give chase. Once they get here, they're rebuffed, can't get in, can't get the monks out. It's filled with anger and fury and total frustration. They have to light a fire underneath and try and smoke the poor devils out. It's a great story. It's very, sadistic and very bloodthirsty, and children love it. It's a marvellous thing to tell. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to debunk it.
in Tiglin Youth Hostel. A very unusual place. An old farmhouse. There's a lot of character. Room. Yard. Interesting. Looks like subtropical vegetation there. And here is our famous host in person.
Good morning.
Oh, let's hear the Tiglin accent that differs from all of Ireland here.
Well, I have a cultured accent. I have a Dublin accent.
Oh, a Dublin accent.
Dublin accent, yeah. But the typical Wicklow accent is a real slow accent like that. Thank God I don't talk like that.
Thank you, Rupert. And
huge
and look at some of these typical hostellers here. And watch out with that toaster. I just burned a few. Okay. Well,
I didn't take your advice.
Well, you can scrape if you like, but they still tasted rotten. Glendalough, we're heading down through Carlow, down to Kilkenny. Wicklow Gap, heading toward Kilkenny. Off in the distance would be Glendalough, the Kilkenny Castle. This is a highway in Ireland. A small highway, but this is a highway. I've seen bigger sidewalks. God help us if we meet somebody. From Kilkenny, we're heading to Cashel. From Cashel, we're heading down to Cahir, and then right down to Cork and to Blarney Castle nearby. We have landed in Cashel, where the Rock of Cashel is. And that's just some old ruin behind our trailer park.
Cashel in the Irish language, it refers to a stone fort or a fortress, and this is what was first built here in the 4th century.
That not only were they used as places of prayer and solitude, and obviously bell towers as this tower was, but that in times of danger they may have been used as places of refuge by the monks who would hide at the top of the tower with all of their valuables, in particular during the Viking invasions, what is known as Hoare Abbey. It was a 13th century Cistercian monastery, and it's one of 3 monasteries or abbeys which were built here in the area at that time.
Now in Cahir, C-A-H-I-R.
Enclosure itself has its own forms of defence, and if you look down to the corners at either side, you can see two round towers. Defending soldiers would stand in these towers and would fire out on any attackers to kill the attackers and defend the castle. A medieval feast or banquet would have taken place. At a banquet, there would have been one large table extending the width of the banqueting hall at the top. And the lord and the lady, or the Butler family, would sit up here at this table. At a banquet, it would be very important that the ale and alcohol tasted very well. So there was somebody employed in the castle whose job was to test the ale. Now you might think that this was a very pleasant job, and that this man got to taste all the ale, but I'm afraid that was not the case. Instead, he wore leather trousers. Some of the ale would be poured out on a wooden bench, and the ale tester would sit on this bench with his leather trousers for half an hour. After half an hour, he would attempt to stand up. If the leather trousers had stuck to the bench, this meant that there was too much sugar in the ale. The ale was sticky, was of bad quality, and had to be thrown out. But if after half an hour he could stand up, this meant that the ale was of good quality and that it could be served at a banquet.
Was Blarney Castle. Hang on.
They got the steel so you can't fall all the way through. But see that flat slab there?
There's the Blarney Stone.
You didn't get down any other way, did you?
Who's kissing the Blarney Stone?
You don't notice how high you are because you like it. That's right, Jack.
Well, there you go. There's the Blarney Stone. And there's the lineup on top of the turrets.
A shoot, yeah.
Would be great.
Fire pole or
Look at the bright side, we near the top.
Hey, I'm gonna go around this way.
Maybe it's to make people think there's something good up here that get the keys in there.
That's the one that goes down. What? You follow that? Actually over it.
Shit.
I should have warned you about your glasses, man.
There you go. Very good. Well done. Good.
Hour and a quarter wait going up very, very, very narrow, steep stairs.
going on here.
Debbie, this way. This way. No, stay where you are.
It's the 8th. This is the inside of the car. Those are our wet sleeping air mattresses. This is the day outside, if you can see it. Typical Irish morning. Patricia's in the shower of all places. I don't know why, but she's in the shower. The deluge, and we're drying out our car. No, actually we're drying out the tent. We've already folded up the fly, and there's actually some blue sky up above, clouds on the way, and Pat actually had to put on some suntan lotion. What do you think about that? In the city of Cork, and that's the Cork City Hall. And a good part of the city of Cork is on this island. From Cork, we're heading to the southern coast to Kinsale, and from Kinsale along the coast to Union Hall. Fort, a star-shaped fort on the sea, just out of Kinsale. Kinsale Town. Very picturesque. For the Drombeg stone circles, would you believe? Sleep at Maria's Schoolhouse. Terrific. It's a nice place. Very economical. Hey, we're going from Union Hall down the southern coast a little further to Ballydehoop, which is approximately 600 miles from Belfast, as far away as you can get from Belfast, and then heading up this way into the Barra Peninsula, back through Kenmare and all the way through the Ring of Kerry to Waterville. sitting in a car on some godforsaken road, Tehillah Cove Road.
It's about 4 feet across.
4 feet across, and here we're drinking our beer. 69p a can, and delicious bread. That's what you're going to say, sweetheart?
Mm-hmm. Linseed and sesame seed. Wonderful bread.
And eating our cold chicken, listening to the Irish station, and looking on a little bit of scenery out here. And we're in the Ring of Kerry. And of course, these are the roads that I have to travel down. And God help us when we meet something coming down that road. And it's a typical Irish day. But this one doesn't look like it's going to clear up and get sunny. That's the only difference.
If the apprentice boys agree to do this, then tomorrow's planned nationalist rally at Friederi Corner will be cancelled. Hundreds of British troops have been sent to the north. The transfer of troops began yesterday. They're said to be now fully operational.
Packing. There's the youth hostel. We stayed in Waterville. Waterville in the background. And I think that ball in the sky is called sun. We haven't seen it in the last day or so. We're leaving Waterville to complete the Ring of Kerry, and then we'll end up in Dingle on the Beehive Hut's prehistoric. Do you believe it? Rio. Ask Pat. August 11th, and we're ready to leave Ballintagart hostel just outside of Dingle. We're leaving Dingle, traveling up this way through Tralee and all the way to Limerick and the nearby Craigavon project. And then we will stay overnight in Limerick. Craigavon, or however it's pronounced.
Much better. And the second thing is, I'm looking for a wife. Oh. Well, I have 4 already, but I obviously need an extra one to protect me. So if you want the job, step forward now. No takers? No takers? Well, once you've seen my Crannog, not only will you want to marry me, you'll throw yourself at me. I'm sure you will. And all you men will be terribly jealous after you've seen what I've got. Well, some of us... Oh. Obviously, we need a plan to protect ourselves. And this plan is a Crannog, a man-made artificial lake dwelling.
That's what she put it up like long ago.
Of clay and mud mixed with straw, animal hair, and also human hair.
Road. Now, this is 2,000 years old, and it was built over a bog. Now, I presume you all know what a bog is. Over the years, the road sunk underneath the bog, and the wood that you see there got preserved. This for about 3 hours, and that heats up the stones. When the stones are hot, we roll the stones into the pit, and almost immediately the water will start to boil, especially on this side of the pit where the stones go. Now, yeah. After a minute or two, it will settle down, and while it won't be boiling, it is hot enough to cook food in. Now, the food used here was traditionally a piece of deer, but what we use, we have a piece of...
Temperature, that's the important thing when you're smelting metals. If you don't get a high enough temperature, how are you going to make a metal mould? How are you going to make anything? You have to be able to attain this. So you have to make the charcoal first. That's another process in itself. For example, you throw it in there and you have your metal inside. And you use one of these, they had these big huge bellows because you fill it up with air like that.
Is the fire coming on? Oh. Yeah.
See how hard work it is?
Home sweet home.
And he is also a man who likes to study medieval manuscripts. Tim decided that he wanted to build a boat out of the same kind of materials as they would have used for building boats back in the 6th century. So basically, the boat would be built from made out of leather.
We're leaving Limerick to go to the Bunratty Castle, and then through Shannon, Ennis, right to the coast, to the cliffs of Moher. We are at Bunratty Castle.
The normal kind of brass mugs called buns, and they get buns of wine, and buns of beer, and that's where the name Butler originated, the name Butler. Yes. No, but the glasses are called Butler.
Oh, I know. There's no Fiona.
Qu'est-ce qu'elle a dit exactement?
Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
This is your first day of school. My name is Sean O'Muraku. Say it, Abare. Sean O'Muraku. That's Irish. That translates, sit down. By the way, I thought I told you to get your hair cut. The state here. Sean O'Muraku translates is John Murphy. Say it.
John Murphy.
That's my name, John Murphy. But you can call me Sir or Master. This morning will be Irish. Who can speak Irish? None of you. Well, I am going to teach you a little bit of Irish. So the first thing we learn when we speak Irish is to say, how are you? And we say, Cunas atá tú. Say it. Cunas atá tú. I can't hear you at the back. Say it. Cunas atá tú.
Cunas atá tú.
Well, that's very good. Almost perfect. So that means, how are you? Cunas atá tú. So if I asked you that question, Cunas atá tú, you would say to me, Tá mé go maith. I am well. Tá mé go maith. Say it. I can see that you're going to be a troublesome class. You, sit down at the back there.
No. Why not? Because I didn't want to do it. You didn't want to do it. But without your pennies now.
Cliffs of Moher.
Wunderfans machen. Aber keine Kinder.
The Cliffs of Moher area to travel up this way to the Elwy Caves and then through Galway, through the Burren, and through the beautiful area of Connemara and the town of Lettertrack to the coast to Ballyvaughan. On our left-hand side is what I think is the Burren.
Now, if you follow the longest stalactite, you may notice a drip of water forming on the very tip. That drip will fall to the floor, and again it crystallizes, forming a stalagmite. Stalactites grow down, stalagmites grow up. You cannot form without a stalactite, therefore that also has to be more than 8,000 years old, believe it or not.
And there we have the Quiet Man Bridge in the Connemara area. I was saying, here we have the town of Letterfrack. And here we have one heck of a view. Frack in Connemara, and I'll show you what a beautiful sight it is. And we're at Connemara National Park, and we're going for that guided nature walk.
Basically, there are two types of bogs in Ireland. You have what you find on the west coast of Ireland, which is the blanket bogs, and the reason they're called blanket bogs is because they blanket the whole topography. And then the second type are raised bogs, and they're found in the Midlands. Now, raised bogs differ in that raised bogs are always formed over lakes, whereas blanket bogs can be formed just over the soil, and it can hold. If you just look, it can hold about 16 to 20 times its own weight in water. So I mean that's one of the main advantages of this moss.
Today we're leaving Lettertrack and going through Westport, into the Ashel Islands, back and up, and going to Eastkey, just outside of Sligo. Up further north through Donegal, going over to the Bulleek Potteries in Northern Ireland, retracing further, ending up in Letterkenny. Island. August 16th. And Patricia, what do you have to say?
This is a Caro site. It's about 5,000 year old tomb.
What else do you have to say?
Happy birthday, Judy.
Thank you. Those bowls are over 700 kilos. The European Union is not interested, and half of Irish herds, or half of the cows or bulls in the Irish herds are over 700 kilos. the 17th, 1 week from our departure.
It's pretty dangerous, but I mean, we've had people around here, you know, who have been sculptors up in the 50s. They've had their thumb knocked, but not taken. I wouldn't see these going round if it was going at the proper speed. This first man had worked.
And then back up through Letterkenny into the Inishowen Peninsula, up through Buncrana to the northernmost point in Ireland, Malin. From Malin, we head down to Moville and head down to Derry or Londonderry, Northern Ireland. And from Derry, we head down to Omagh. On the Inishowen Peninsula, heading to the northernmost part of Ireland. We just came up this hill. And we're going that way. Most northerly point. Ulster, and specifically in Londonderry. Monday, August the 19th. early monastery settlement. The Motte and Bailey. Plantation settlement.
Shot.
Presidents with Irish connection: Andrew Jackson, James K. Polk, James Buchanan, Andrew Johnson, Ulysses S. Grant, Chester Alan Arthur, Grover Cleveland, McKinley, Theodore Roosevelt, Kennedy, Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan. Leave the Omagh area, head through Cookstown and up to Moneymore. Moneymore, we head to Draperstown. And this is their house. There's actually McLeod's all over here. And it's near the Moyola River, near Draperstown. And we're going to be talking to them.
And Philip has a cousin in Cork called Philip McLeod as well.
Oh,
he's a cousin.
Oh, who knows? We're adopting him.
There you go.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus in on each of you, and you can give your name. And I'll give you the cue. Ready, go. What's your name? And how old are you?
9 years.
Okay, and next one up. There we go.
Agnes McLeod, and I am
Not telling your
children's
age.
mother, and I'm not telling my age.
Okay, and
Dylan McLeod, 13.
13. Great stuff. And there they are, part of the McLeod clan. There they are. Oh, there! Look! Oh, what a team! There they.
That's Paddy you're thinking about.
No. You have to carry on while Paddy's in hospital.
You listen to Paddy, how you know what?
Well, this is Paddy's brother. That one's a McLeod? That one you uncovered over there?
Yeah.
These are basically buried in this area. Judy, you owe me big time. This is a rainy, rainy day. Draperstown and head north to the north coast in Port Rush. Ending up in Ballantoy. The last part of our journey is from Ballantoy down the coast, back through Belfast, ending up in Antrim. Old Bushmills. Oldest whiskey distillery in the world. Toddy, right, sweetheart?
That's whiskey and boiling water and sugar and cinnamon and maybe lemon. I'm not sure, but it's very good.
It's very good? I'd hate to think that was solid whiskey. Yeah, it's a long way down. I never looked at my feet.
Oh, brave, brave.
Stupid.
Shake the bridge.
Oh, honey, I wouldn't shake the bridge. Goodbye.